Hello, everybody. Welcome to My Chamber TV, where we bring you the best of the best of the best of the community. And today, we got Tarpon Springs in the house. Whoop, whoop.
And who am I?
Jean Hungiville. I can actually say your name.
You can say my name.
Today. Yes.
Today.
She's president and CEO.
Okay.
Well, we have, and you wouldn't
believe the lineup today.
I know.
And we're starting with a really strong.
Right out of the gate, we're going, let's get it.
Let's go.
So we've got Theresa and Lori, and they're from the Minor Achievements.
Yes.
Now, I'm going to let you. So, who are you guys?
Who is Minor Achievements?
Who is? What?
Well, Minor Achievements is a nonprofit center that offers small group classes, private therapies, and summer camps
For children?
kids, for children with special needs and who maybe need just a little extra support. So they can be gen ed kids who come to some of our social skills classes or our communication gym to just work on articulation. Maybe they have speech delays that they're working on.
Oh, okay.
Or maybe they have difficulty with social language, like eye contact.
So,
That's what
do
we
you
do.
deal with the IEP students, or
We do.
Okay.
Children with IEPs.
got to have an IEP?
And
No.
IEP is,
Nope.
no.
An IEP
She said
is.
she wasn't going to say anything, then she went.
An IEP is what?
It's an individualized education plan.
Oh, okay.
Children with disabilities who need extra support in education will get a plan targeted to meet their needs. And it's a legal document that
Okay.
has to be accommodated in any classroom that they're placed in.
So,
Oh, no kidding.
are you working with the schools, or this is on a separate basis?
This is completely separate. We offer a lot of private therapies, so parents will come to us. And being a nonprofit, we can help support because therapies are quite expensive and sometimes insurance doesn't cover everything.
Oh,
Right.
yeah.
We also offer group classes, which is an even more affordable option and also has the benefit of peer modeling, having other kids around for them to talk to and play with.
Let's tell everybody home your backgrounds, so that way they understand that you weren't working at McDonald's
It's-
last week and decided, hey, I'm going to work with kids.
Yeah, and it's really, really amazing the quality of education that goes into this and the dedication that you put into it. So,
Yes, absolutely. So I've worked in Pinellas County Schools and in Osceola over in Kissimmee for 15 years in the public school. And
and you were doing what?
oh, I'm sorry, I'm special education teacher.
Special ed, okay.
And I worked with the
Okay.
little guys, so pre-K to second grade.
They're the I'm going to say they're the funnest.
They are. And
I
actually,
love those. I mean, I love them all, but they're
the best part about the younger kids is you work with the families because they're
Oh,
coming
okay.
to a time of acceptance. And so I love the fact that there's so much involvement and you're going through a journey together, figuring out what this child will need when they start their education process.
Miss Theresa.
Theresa,
Hi.
you've got all these, after your name, you have all these letters.
Lots and lots of letters.
I'm a speech pathologist, and I also worked in the school systems in Pinellas County for over 20 years. I retired early and worked here with Miss Lori because we knew each other from school.
Okay.
And we were looking for something different to where we could involve families more and also help the kids who you can't really help every child at school. You can give them some help, but a lot of kids need something outside that group, and they need to interact with the typical peers and have supports in a smaller group sometimes. So we provide that. But yeah, I worked at Bardmore Elementary, and I worked at I'm blanking now. How terrible.
But in the Pinellas County
Yeah,
area.
it's been all in Pinellas, and then I ended up at Cypress Woods, which is where I met Lori,
Oh,
and I was
okay.
there for 12
Cypress
years.
Woods is awesome.
Yeah, it's a good,
Because
very good
my
school.
youngest child went there in the beginning,
Yes.
and before school started, he was 3.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my.
Oh yeah. So when I tell you I know your school very
We probably
well.
know his teachers.
I probably
Some of them
did,
might,
right?
yeah.
Now you have
We brought toys.
stuff. Well, yeah, I wasn't going to say yes. You have toys.
Okay.
So, and these are sensory toys, correct?
Yes. Sensory or communication. The big thing is we work through a child's play,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
So we're going to start where they are, and then really through their play we can assess how we need to journey forward
Okay.
and what we can do to best support them. But yeah, we brought sensory.
But what is
and
this little deal? That's great. I like that.
What
Isn't
is
that
that?
fun?
I could just play
makes
with that all
noise.
day. I could just play with that all day.
So
Yes.
I will tell you, we have an incredible facility. It's so humble from the outside, you wouldn't know it from the street.
No, not at all.
And every parent that walks in there, every child that walks in there is so happy and thrilled to come back.
Oh, nice.
There's a literacy room, a gym room, and the reason why I mention this, we have a sensory room.
Right.
And within the sensory room, there's a lot of different objects that we watch how the kids gravitate towards sound or spinning.
This kid
is
went
just
right to
fun.
that.
We all have sensory stuff
Yep.
that we like and don't like. This is a cube that my
But it's-
wonderful husband put together, and I sewed it.
But it's got different feels on it.
It does, and it is so much more than what you think it is. Inside is a gyroscope that will turn
Feel
the
this.
color of the room the color that is on top. So the entire
Oh, they
room,
can literally go.
I want it yellow, I want
That
it
is
blue,
so
I want it
awesome.
white.
No kidding.
And if a kid's spinning it quickly, you know they're sensory seeking, like they want
Right.
that input. And other kids might just want a blue, calming room.
How
That's awesome.
neat
And
is
you let the
this?
child pick the color,
Child does.
whatever you want.
So
Yes.
do you turn it on somewhere, or is it just
There
automatic?
is a little button inside. We're not in the room, so
Right.
you
It
know,
wouldn't
Oh.
work, but yeah.
So that is
the
That is
magic
very-
of television.
I want
we
one of
might
those for
be
the
able
house.
to.
And it's
This
got an
is-
infinity mirror, so you look up and it just looks like it goes forever
That
on the
is
ceiling.
Oh, yes.
It's very
Yeah, what-
calming.
I saw that in one of the
I'm
pictures.
going to move this.
as
For,
well.
What is this?
That is a wiggle cushion. And some of our kids who might be
Wiggle
in a
worms?
general education classroom and the teachers are saying, you know, my child's, you know, the student is wiggling all the time, just giving them a little wiggle cushion. Sometimes just that little sensory support will make a
Gives them a little
tremendous
movement
difference.
while they're
That's
sitting.
awesome. Maybe I need
Interesting.
one of these. You can leave this.
Try it.
No, because you'll never get it back. So what is the what is the salamander?
That's a weighted,
Oh, color and...
and it,
Well, look at how we
it's
just-
a lap. You put it on your lap or sometimes around on your shoulders. Just gives you that sensory.
It's got hugs.
Oh my gosh, it's hugging me.
It gives you that sensory input
This is
if you need the
fabulous.
weight.
That would be, you could warm that up in a micro. No, I guess
Yeah.
you couldn't. That
I
would-
don't know. That might have.
You
I don't know
can,
what it
they're
has in
smaller
it.
ones.
Yeah, that would just.
This
kind
is
of,
a little
it's a little
big.
bit of a.
It's okay.
It depends
Yeah,
what you
I see
have.
a computer piece down there, or I think it's a computer piece.
This, we do have some children who are nonverbal, and one of our summer camps we did a year ago, her husband's other company, AT Makers, 3D printed these.
Oh,
And
neat.
so every child got a little communication device that they could use, whether they needed it or not. So
Right.
the speakers had one too, but they love to explore and talk with other kids. So it was really
That is phenomenal.
interesting. And it was just really simple core vocabulary, which we use a lot in our center. It's the words that you use most often.
Correct.
So we have a lot of visuals that we use, and we'll just refer to these when we're telling stories or things so the kids who don't have the language can learn the language, or they can point to the
Okay.
pictures
Oh, that's great.
and communicate within the classroom and just
It's
get some
very
modeling.
empowering. Just because these words, if we can focus on these words,
Right.
making them intelligible, or even by pointing, there's so much a child can say. So rather than
Neat.
focusing on thousands of
Or
you know,
grammatic
words or-
sentences, it's more, help or go
Go-
drink or need drink.
Oh,
Need
neat.
And you
drink.
work, you build
I
as you
can
go.
relate with that. That's
Yeah,
There
so
was something that you and I talked about on the telephone that I was fascinated with, and it was the don't speak and you can only communicate with the eyes, and then you would go outside. They have outside programs, but talk a little bit about that. I was fascinated about that one.
Yeah,
So-
you got 45 seconds.
All right.
No pressure.
We have a social language garden club that meets
Oh,
every Saturday. We have
neat.
stopped for the summer so we can start our summer camps that are just phenomenal. But during the school year, our garden club focuses on some social skill inside, read a story, and then we go outside and garden.
That is
Theresa, like for example, Theresa was teaching them how to talk with your eyes.
yeah, so we just did an exercise where you had to show your emotion with just your eyes, like not your mouth or anything, just questioning or looking, or show me what I need to look at or pay attention to, and just working on that joint attention and everything with the kids to show that skill that they can understand you're watching them to see, how they're communicating and using their
I
skills.
bet they had a ball. And you are up to 13 years old, correct?
We do, well, we're expanding some, but
Okay.
we're 5 to 10-ish, but
But it's still the younger kids. And I'm
Yes.
just picturing this whole scenario outside in summer camp, and nobody's allowed to talk, and all the eyes are going crazy.
oh, but it's
And
fun.
guess what time? We're going crazy. We got to go. So, hey, you
Okay.
know what? Thanks for watching
More-
this segment.
stay tuned.
Go get you some coffee, tea, whatever you have this afternoon, and we'll be right back with Addington Place of East Lake. Be right back.
Thank you, guys.
All right, we're back, and man, we have got another great guest.
I know.
No, I'm not used to saying guests.
Well,
because normally
this
it's
whole
more-
segment is going to be
all
plural, so
guests.
we'll get you
Well,
trained by the
I
end.
know. Thank you very much. So we've got Tina and Carolyn. You're from the Addington Place of East Lake. And so what is the Addington Place of East Lake?
Addington Place of East Lake is an assisted living community found in the East Lake area of Tarpon Springs.
Okay.
On McMillan Booth.
Yes.
And it is a fabulous, fabulous place. I remember we did an event there for the Chamber a couple of years ago. I was so impressed with
Thank you so
just
much.
walking in and the smiles, and also just the facility's beautiful.
It is beautiful. We think so. It's right
Yes.
there on the nature preserve.
Oh.
It's got a great location. It started as an independent living community, and I don't know if we know the
Oh,
difference
did
between the
that-
two.
No,
No, I
probably
don't know the
not.
difference.
Yes. So independent living is really for seniors or adults that are looking for an environment where they can live, have meals provided, activities provided, transportation provided, but they don't need help with what we call activities of daily living.
Ah,
Okay.
Dressing,
okay.
bathing, grooming, help with
Okay,
transportation. So years have passed, and many of those residents that live there have decided that they'd like to stay there.
Oh.
And so
Okay.
we transitioned from an independent living community and became licensed for an assisted living, where they can now get help with dressing, bathing, grooming.
And then they don't have to move. It makes a
Correct.
whole
So do
lot
you
of
do
sense.
both now? Or
We
they-
do.
Okay, so you do
Yeah.
the independent
Yes.
side, and then when they decide I'm staying.
Absolutely.
Because I love you guys so much.
And the community was built with the intent of independent living. So
Right.
where many assisted living communities don't have a pool, they don't have porches,
Right.
this community does.
I knew you had porches, but I didn't realize you had a pool.
We have a beautiful pool and a pool house with bathrooms out there, and it has a long walking path that actually sets back into that nature preserve.
No kidding.
So deer come out. We have a little putting green back there. It is a beautiful little, and it's a little hidden gem.
I had no idea, because when you drive
okay.
by, I've seen some of the activities that you've done there that brings the public in as well as that, but I didn't realize all of that was in the back.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Well, the event that we did was a luncheon, and we got a tour, and the rooms are gorgeous.
They're nice and big because,
They
again,
are.
they initially started as an independent living
Right.
community.
And that was a surprise.
Yes, nice and bright, huge windows, big bathrooms, but again, equipped now with assisted living services, so we have all the security features with call bells and lights, so that if something were to happen, they have services that are available immediately. All the
Okay.
handrails are there, all the safety features.
Very good. Now, are they allowed to have pets there?
They are. We have a little doggy park. We do. Truly.
Okay. I'm not going to run away from old age anymore. I'm moving in. A doggy park.
We do. We have a little doggy park, doggy station, watering area, so that the dogs can play and then have a drink.
Oh, wow. Happy hour for
So
dogs.
you hit my what and why really quickly here, because why is, okay, well, that makes a lot more sense now. You get the people that are aging into
Yeah.
wanting self-care. That's absolutely phenomenal.
I think that's very
Absolutely
neat.
phenomenal. Well, so what's going on there right now that we need to know about? Because now I need to probably need to come and get a tour because I'm pretty sure my wife is looking to get ready.
Stop.
Get you in there. Get you in there.
I think the biggest thing that we'd like to really talk about today is how we're serving the community.
Absolutely.
And ultimately, because folks believe that assisted living is what used to be a convalescent home.
Right.
You think the term assisted living and people panic immediately.
Oh, because
Do they really still?
Yes.
in your
No
mind, you
kidding.
see these, because I've been in these places,
Right.
where there are these little bitty rooms that these people have to live in
Right.
now, and they're locked in, locked out. It's very cold.
Absolutely.
It's not a warm, inviting place.
Doesn't feel like home.
No.
No.
Right.
It's scary to be
It's
in.
scary.
Yeah.
And during COVID, I think people really believed I'm going to be locked in that little tiny room,
Right.
not be able to get out, where really the opposite happened. You know, in our communities specifically, our residents commune together during COVID. So that social isolation
Oh, no kidding.
that happened at so many other places and
Mainstream media
Yeah.
made it look horrible.
that people were locked in
Right.
and getting sick and dying,
Right.
right?
Oh,
and so
yeah.
ultimately, in our communities, they were able to order pizza and commune together. Yes, they were wearing masks. Yes, they were safe and secure,
Yeah.
but we were still serving their daily needs in the community.
But no
and they were
outside
not
guests.
correct. No outside guests, but they were still with friends.
That's
and so in our time today, our apartments are filling up. We have people that are now afraid to be at home alone because they
Right.
recognize, okay, I did need services,
Right.
and so now I'd like to move. Where do I go? But they don't know the difference between independent living,
Correct.
assisted living, memory care. You know, what is a skilled nursing facility? So we offer a number of different events where we teach and we educate the
Oh.
community on what those services are
Very
and
good.
try to help folks determine which place is best for them. Because just like your own home, we all have different things that we're looking for. Do we want more land? Do we want more space? Do we want apartment living? Whatever that looks like. So we hope that we are a resource to the community, answer those questions without a sales pitch.
Right.
Because that's not who we are.
To me, from what you're saying, it looks to me like you guys kind of encompassed everything. So if I'm okay living by myself a little bit, that's great.
Yes.
But now all of a sudden I start needing help. I don't have to move.
Right.
I'm there.
Right.
And it just, that service just get added on to what I'm doing now.
That's exactly right.
That's-
And the other neat thing is if you've got a little four-legged companion, that little kid can come with you too, and that's really neat.
And
That
we
is
don't
very
limit it
special.
to dogs and cats. Birds, bunnies, you bring your animal.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh
I have an
wow!
ostrich. No, I'm just kidding.
No, probably not.
No
an
kidding.
ostrich.
You know, that's the kind of thing that gives a place a personality as well. And maybe somebody who doesn't want the responsibility of taking care of a pet can then enjoy someone else's. I mean, I'm a perfect example of that. I don't have one, but I can babysit other people's pets, or I can go visit. And they can. That's exactly what they can do when they're in an assisted living facility.
Absolutely.
So transitioning from independent living into assisted living is just something really special about that place.
It makes us unique
It
ultimately
does.
because again we are assisted living, but it doesn't feel like assisted living.
right.
It doesn't look like assisted living. You know, our dining rooms are open 7 to 7. So when you want
And the
to eat,
food is amazing.
thank you. We really love our dietary team. We have some phenomenal people who care about residents. And so if you were to come and say, you know, I really miss my mom's fried chicken, give us the recipe. Our chef,
kidding.
No
yes,
way.
our chefs
Yeah.
care enough that they want to make sure it feels like home. So
Oh,
it's a very,
Always trying new recipes. Oh, that's wonderful.
it's individualized care.
So we've got about 3 minutes left.
Okay.
Let's talk about some of your outings because Miss Carolyn
Yeah.
has not talked very much.
But no, that's quite all right. I mean, we do a lot of outings with our residents, and now that COVID is easing, and we're of course going through the CDC guidelines and opening up, and we're starting to open up a little bit, every day, every month. We have done a classic car show already with our residents and their families.
I'm
It's
excited.
very popular in the community.
I remember the ones that were before COVID. I mean,
Yes.
it was like show-stopping.
Yeah, we had a mini one this time, but as things open up, we'll have larger shows and things like that. We're just right now focusing on the residents and their families and getting them back together and doing things together, as a family and friends too. We had a picnic with our family and friends, which
Oh,
is
neat.
nice. They really enjoyed that. We are planning for next month. We've reserved a movie theater for a
Oh.
private viewing for our residents and their families.
Oh, really?
So we'll show a movie and,
Do you know
serve
what the movie
popcorn.
is yet?
We haven't picked one just yet. It's going to be something, heartwarming and, happy.
And everybody will enjoy. Oh, that's
Yeah,
great.
I think we did Pursuit of Happiness last time, so something
Oh,
along
neat.
that line.
So the contemporary as well.
Yes, yes.
Oh, very cool.
We're excited about that, and we're now opening up a bit. We're having more entertainers come in, like singers and piano players. We're
Oh,
trying to
nice.
get back into that because the residents really, really enjoy that. We have our normal daily activities and outings are starting to pop up again. The outings, like I brought, for example, something for June.
What's going on
That
in
we are
June?
doing. In June, we are going to Frenchie's Outpost and doing a scenic ride. There's a men's lunch. They're going shopping.
The men are going shopping?
No. The men are going to lunch one day.
We do have quite a few men that do like to shop.
I was just gonna say, that
Dinner at
is pushing them
Carrabba's.
beyond their comfort zone.
Probably so. Lunch at Culver's, ladies' lunch at P.F. Chang's. So there's always a lot of different things we have organized.
And so you get on a bus and go with your
Yeah,
friends.
we have
and
our own bus.
girl gang and all that
Yeah,
good stuff.
absolutely. Or guy gang, or everybody goes together. They go
I love
to
it.
Kobe's Japanese Steakhouse. They go to Bonefish. They go to Tarpon Tavern.
So a whole variety of places.
Great variety of places. Our activity girls mix it up very nicely. So they're always, and they're taking suggestions. Oh, let's do this next month. Of course, let's do that. We'll put it on the calendar. So we really listen to our residents and what they'd like to do.
Oh, I really do
So it's
want to
fun.
move in. Nobody listens to me these days.
I listen to you.
And then just as for daily activities, I grabbed this. This is our daily, I don't know if you can see that, but our daily activities, we always have a fitness class every day.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
Like-
nice.
Like sit and fit, something like that.
Very good to keep them moving.
We've been playing a lot of Farkle lately. I don't know if you're familiar with Farkle.
That's awesome. Yep.
Everybody's into the rolling of the dice, and
Yep.
we kind of started Farkle because we were playing card games prior to COVID, and then of course nobody wanted to share cards because nobody
Oh,
knew
yeah.
where the germs were coming from, and so everybody gets their own dice. So, and all of a sudden everybody loves it, and we're playing Farkle all the time.
You
And
bring back D&D. I guarantee there's some people under us play D&D today.
And guess what?
We got to go.
We ought to.
Yeah,
do it.
Hey, look,
come on
folks,
in.
hey, we're again, go refreshing that tea, coffee, whole 9 yards. And here's a little teaser. If you want to use a boat but don't want to own a boat, the guys coming
It's
up
next.
are just for you. We'll be right back. Hey, okay, we're back, and guess what? We're going to talk about boats and water and why you don't need to own a boat anymore, because you can get in the Freedom Boat Club and just use their boats.
You know something? I think that the best time you have a boat is when the day you buy it and the day you sell it, because that's what
Or you
everybody
sink
says.
it. Depends on who you are. I'm just saying.
And-
Don't sink theirs.
But what happens is you don't have to worry about that
No,
anymore.
no maintenance, no nothing.
Yep.
It's all on you guys.
Captain Dean and Mike have got the answer for you.
Absolutely. That's right. Most people only use their boats about 50 hours a year.
Yep.
And
No
ours
kidding.
get about 750 hours a year. I mean, you get out there, you don't have to do the pre-check, cleaning, getting the boat to the water, and then afterwards, all that cleaning
Oh,
up
the
while everyone
flushing.
else
That
goes to
was
dinner.
just-
Washing down.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
like,
that's the worst because you're
Yeah.
tired
Oh, it's a pain.
and you've had a couple of drinks and it's
Yeah.
like, I just want to go home. No, you have another hour's worth of work to do.
Exactly. Just take that out and keep the middle part where you get to go out and enjoy yourself on the water. So that's what's so great about it. We have 32 locations and over 540 boats now. So there's a lot of different places you can go to
Oh, wow.
explore too.
yeah,
So how does it work?
Yeah, as I'll say, just because I live here, if I want to go north, guys are there.
Yeah, so basically for all the way from Yankeetown through Ruskin, there's going to be 32 locations spread out between all that. And so The variations of boats are pretty similar per location. So as you go down the coast, so whether you're up on the Nature Coast, you want to go out of Crystal River, go to Homosassa and do scalloping and manatees, or come to Tarpon Springs and see the beautiful islands. You got Tarpon, we got Anclote, Three Rooker, all the way down into go to Caladesi and Honeymoon. So it's all right there and accessible. Or you want to be in Tampa Bay. There's 3 locations. You roll downtown, and we were right there in the middle of the Lightning Championship.
Right.
And,
Oh,
so
yeah.
a lot of cool stuff to see.
But it's beyond that. So say I'm vacationing up in Connecticut,
Yeah.
right? And I want to go on the water. If there's a Freedom Boat Club up there because I'm a member, right?
I would say that that's probably the most advantageous thing about Freedom Boat Club is just the reciprocity. I mean, you can go literally anywhere in the United States, whether it's New York, California, Texas. They have them in Canada, now in France and Europe, and so
No, okay.
it's-
But let's back up for a minute here. You guys know, I don't know a whole lot
sorry.
about Freedom
Yeah, we
Boat
gotta
Club.
answer.
Just dove right in.
You dove right in.
I'm sorry, Chief.
But,
Yeah.
and there's probably a lot of our viewers that don't know, it is a club. So if I am interested in going out on a pontoon boat on the Anclote River, how do I start? Talk to me about that.
First, you join the club, so that's for you and another spouse or significant other in your household.
Okay.
Lifetime membership joining fee. And then you have a monthly fee, which can range depending on the plan you want to do. Do you like to go out all the time? Do you like to go out just weekends, things like that, depending on your schedule.
Okay.
So we offer that kind of thing. So then you go online, you make your reservation, you pick the type of boat you want at the location you want. You just show up, and the dock masters are there waiting for you to help you load your gear on and shove you off. There you go.
So if I'm interested in a pontoon, but then maybe a few months later, I want a cabin cruiser. Is that a different type of membership, or is that something, how do you know I'm qualified?
Oh, everyone gets training when they arrive at the club. So we have a cadre of about 45 U.S. Coast Guard certified captains. And
Okay.
you spend some time prior to that online getting your feet wet, so to speak, and then you go meet up with a captain at the dock, and they'll take you through the basic safety and navigation knowledge you're going to need. And from there, you're pretty much learning as you go. If you don't know much about boats, you take small little trips to islands, things like that, and you get
Okay.
better and better at boating. It's great to see members progress and mature as boaters from very basic to all of a sudden totally comfortable on the water.
So if someone comes up and they said, oh, I want to take this out, but you work with them and you think, well, maybe they haven't done this before, you'll take them very gently back to,
That's
this
right.
is where you need
You
to
get a little
start.
extra training on close quarters maneuvering or anchoring or whatever that they're having trouble with.
Yeah, you just can't come in and just go, wham, I'm going to go into this parking space next to the
right.
dock.
Yeah, and that's also one of the advantages. I mean, it's free training for life. So I mean, as long as you're a member, you can come back as much as you want, so you don't get it all in that first time you're outing. You say, I really want to learn how to dock a little better. Call the dock up, and then you can come down to the dock, and we'll teach you how to dock better. Or you want to learn more about island anchoring or any of those things. We have the captains there to teach you as much as you want to learn along the way. So.
No kidding. Okay. I mean, that is so neat, because I have had very little experience with boating. Lived in Wisconsin, and we had a pontoon boat on a lake.
Yeah.
We had a dock, and it was not salt water. It was a whole different, and it was really pretty easy.
Yeah.
Except in Wisconsin, you have to pull it out at the end of the year and have it winterized and pay to have it stored and all the other stuff. And then you get to shovel snow.
Yeah.
So different issue. So I've always been really curious about this, but didn't know. So when you guys dove in, it's like, whoa, wait a minute. Because I think there's a lot of people out there that probably are thinking, I'm curious, but how do I do this? So what's a good way to start? Which boat?
Pontoons. Definitely
Pontoons.
pontoons. They're the easiest to maneuver.
and
And,
yeah.
They're slow.
yeah, they don't
But they're
go all that
fun.
fast.
They're party
Oh, I lo-
barges.
no.
They're party
look,
barges.
Okay, so what Captain Dean doesn't know, Mike doesn't. I used to have a captain's license. I owned a Marine service.
Okay.
And I've driven everything from 100 foot down to 10. So, and let me tell you, I love the pontoon boats.
Yep, they're the best.
I think the older you get, the more you can kind of slow down a little bit and just chill out. You know,
Pets love the pontoon boats.
They
People
do?
bring
Yes,
their
they
pets
do.
out.
bring your dog, your
Yeah.
Yes.
cat if you're really brave. I don't know.
Yeah.
No.
A little island hopping, hit restaurants, things like that. And then, of course, we've got the fishing boats, both inshore and offshore fishing boats for people that like that.
No kidding. Okay.
So how do I get started?
Go to freedomboatclub.com/Tampa Bay, and they'll give you all the information you need.
Right. And then once you're in, and it's just time to start using the boats.
Get
Right,
out,
jump
get out
on.
on the water.
Get
yeah.
out on the water.
Yeah,
Now,
absolutely.
let's just talk about the locations. Where are your locations? I know you're Tarpon.
I'm in Tarpon.
Are you on the
Springs,
lake
yeah.
and?
Lake Tarpon and next door to Captain Jackson. We also have one right there in the sponge docks.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, right next to our visitor center, which
I
is.
didn't know that.
Yep,
That's new.
that's the
Yeah.
newest one.
That's the newest one.
Well,
right?
sir.
marker 1 Dunedin, marker 8 Dunedin, Clearwater downtown by the big bridge going over to the beach.
Right.
Oh, no kidding.
John's
I didn't-
Pass, Madeira Beach, Tierra Verde, St. Pete downtown, and then back on the other side of the bay from Ruskin all the way up 3 in Tampa downtown. We've got some lake locations actually all the way up in the Harris chain of lakes. the
Really?
highest point in
Oh.
Florida.
Right, right.
The seaplane capital.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That is
Okay,
neat.
so I know what people are thinking right now. They're like, okay, that's great. I'm going to join this club and I'm going to pay a monthly or I'm going to do this, blah, blah, blah. And then I'm going to call it, nope, don't got a boat.
Yeah.
That's rare from what I've heard because you guys have got a lot of boats.
Yeah. You can plan in advance.
Right.
And if you don't plan in advance, say you've got something just pops up, you got friends coming to town, you can just call up the dock and say, hey, you have anything sitting there that somebody didn't show up for?
Right.
Oh, nice.
We have about 10% cancellation rate a day, so there's almost always something sitting at the dock.
Right.
So if somebody makes a reservation, they don't show, do they get charged for that?
If they don't call and let us know, yeah.
Yeah,
We will
good.
have a wait list, so if they call and say, look, my child is sick, I can't make it,
Even if
we'll
it's
call
the last
somebody on the
minute.
wait list. Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll get somebody else on that boat.
Boy, is that convenient.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so they can book out up to like 6 months, and life changes. You know, you got baseball games, kids happen, all these things
Right.
happen. So cancellations are, like I said, pretty common. So, but that availability is always there and flexible. So by having that online reservation system to plan those out, really the not getting a boat becomes more and more rare. So
I've known people that are with you guys, and I've gone with them, and the guys are like, we've never not been able to get a boat.
Yeah.
Even at spur of the moment, like, hey, do you have something? Oh yeah, we got something. Come on down.
And especially in this area where you've got several locations very close,
Right.
it's not like you have a long drive. If you want to switch up to a different one, from Tarpon to Port Richey, I mean, it's a very close drive.
there's 75 boats between Tarpon Springs and Port Richey alone. So
Oh, no kidding.
a lot of boats to be had right, in that area. So
Do most people want to go out first thing early in the morning, or is middle of the day more the crazy time?
kind of varies. Now that we're coming into summer, you'll see them come a little earlier because it's warmer out, and in the fall they're getting there probably 10 or 11. But I'd say about 9 o'clock's average, 9, 10 o'clock they get out there, just depending on what the day does. So.
If you wanted to generalize, you'd say fishermen probably are the morning boaters.
Oh, okay.
And then you've got your restaurant and island hoppers in the afternoon.
But
Okay,
you got to be
so-
back before dark.
before
Right.
dark, yes.
Yeah, because you guys have long hours, the open hours.
Yeah,
Dawn to dusk.
that's right.
Yeah.
And in the summertime, that's
Breakfast,
really
lunch,
long.
and dinner in a 14-hour shift.
Oh,
So is
Lord.
there ever a possibility, say I want to go from here to Caladesi, or I want to go to Paso Grill, but I want to be able to go there, spend the night at a hotel on the beach, and blah, 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 and then use the boat again the next day? Is that a possibility?
We do have that option, yeah. The overnight form, you fill it out, let us know where you're going to be. It has to be at a safe dock, like you
Okay.
said, not just at an island anchored somewhere where a storm could push the
Yeah,
boat out while
exactly.
you're sleeping.
Right.
But yeah, that is a possibility.
That's good. See, that to me, that makes it, that's just a perk.
Yeah.
Because if I want to do a little, start on a Friday morning and then go hop in Saturday and then Sunday and then come back on Sunday, I can't. It's an awesome thing.
And then at the end of Sunday, you just turn the boat over, say,
I don't gotta
"Oh, I don't
Yeah,
have to clean this.
exactly.
Oh
Get
my
your stuff
gosh!"
off and go.
You know,
Yeah.
I am convinced that maybe I think I may have to join this. I think I'm
hey, look,
there.
Thanks
And
for
we're
watching this.
out of
segment. We
time.
do appreciate it. If you need to, I'll endorse these guys all day long. So, if in my opinion, you need to go and become a club member and go boating. We'll
And
be
even
right-
newbies.
Even
That's
newbies,
right.
that's right. So we'll come right back, and then so this Gene's going to actually interview WeBeamTV and Tampa Bay Multimedia. We'll be right back after these messages.
Hi, welcome back to Chamber TV, and now we have the roles reversed. I'm Jean Hungiville from the Tarpon Springs Chamber of Commerce, and I am interviewing, who are you?
I'm Jean Gaston. No, I'm John.
John
I'm the
from
owner of Tampa
WeBeam-
Bay Multimedia.
And WeBeamTV, and the producer extraordinaire.
I don't know about that, but okay, I
think
appreciate
so.
that.
I
appreciate
think
that.
so. I have learned a lot from you since we've been doing this.
Yeah, 3 years, almost 3 years.
One of the things that I and as we were talking about before we went live here, I'm used to radio, and I had a radio show every Wednesday at my last chamber, and it was great. It was a 45-minute show, and sometimes I'd have guests, sometimes I would chat. I got really pretty cheeky with that. When I came here, I had not done TV before, and all of a sudden that first show, I was, what do I do with my hands? How do I not wipe my nose?
And scratch your head or poke. You know,
And that kind of thing. And I couldn't have all of my notes way out here in front of me. You did so much to teach me how to become civilized.
Well, thank you. Well, I think you've done a great job.
But so far,
that's just me.
So far, it's it's. I'm always asking questions, and you're always doing some good coaching. I really appreciate that.
I'm gonna let you on a little secret.
Okay.
Okay. My Chamber TV can actually travel.
Oh, we've started to talk about this.
Okay.
Fill me in,
So-
because I want to do this.
So some of our chambers are a distance away, and it's hard to get their people here, especially at 9:30 in the morning when they've either got networking group or they got to get the kids to school or blah blah blah. Right? So it's tough. So we've decided that we will travel for some of our chambers. They've got to be a certain distance away before we will, but we will travel. So what we do is we require the chamber to find a location for us to film it. And I'm going to give you an example. For last week, we were at Safety Harbor.
Okay.
And instead of being downtown Safety Harbor like we have been for the last couple of months, we were actually at Clearwater at Sea Dog Cantina. So we shot on location.
For Safety Harbor
For
in
Safety
Clearwater.
Harbors, yes.
Okay.
Because Sea Dog is a part of their chamber.
Got it.
And it's a great location. So we go and we literally bring a small studio to the location.
Neat.
And it's the same. So really, other than us sitting here on a set like we're doing now, we use whatever furniture they have or whatever settings they have, and we literally bring each guest in and we talk about what their business, just like Chamber TV does.
Uh-huh.
And then the last segment is instead of being the chamber, we do a chamber segment, but the last segment's always about the location.
Okay.
Last week we were at the Sea Dog Cantina, and it was phenomenal. I mean, if you've never been in the place, it's absolutely gorgeous. But it was a great setting, and
Lots of room. How much room?
How
much room do you need to do that? Because I've got a couple of ideas.
We need about a 10 by 10.
That's it?
Yeah, we need, we take up about a 10 by 10. We can. I mean, we can compress it. We would like to have a bigger, it's 20 by 20.
Okay.
You got to have depth of the cameras and the whole 9 yards. But we understand a lot of people don't have that, but people want to have their location shot, right?
Okay, absolutely.
And so what we did is, we'll get on location, especially like the restaurant. We went and shot a bunch of B-roll. So as the manager was talking about it, we got to show all the stuff that we, and then they would bring out food. We like stuff.
Yes.
I am one of the weirdest producers, I think, in the area because everybody likes it so clean and neat. And I like neat, but I like stuff. Put stuff out there that you show what you do.
And I think if anybody goes back into some of our chamber segments,
do a great job. Yeah.
But some of our chamber segments,
That's right.
Johnny Grits, and
we love food. By the way, I'm just saying,
Copenhagen.
we love food.
Copenhagen.
Oh, she's my favorite.
Oh, she's
I know I'm not
Henriette.
supposed to have favorites,
But Henriette
I
is
love her to
wonderful,
death. She's
wonderful,
awesome.
wonderful.
And her desserts and stuff are just so good.
Yes. And even in the middle of the day, you can go over there and get something. You can get breakfast.
When I go through Tarpon, if I can stop, I will stop.
Yep.
At least I'll get a cup of coffee
But
and a dessert or
you
something.
came out and stole stuff while we were in the middle of a segment.
Well, yeah, because I couldn't take it anymore. I'm showing this gorgeous food, and I'm like, okay, I got to go get something.
Yes.
But yeah, so that's what we do. So we come in, and there's a process to what we do. We get there, we get at the location about 8:30, between 8:30 and 9, depending on traffic. We come in, set all the cameras up. We set the mixing rig, the whole 9 yards, and we're there for approximately 4 hours.
Okay.
So we eat up. We always tell people we're going to be in your way for 4 hours.
And you literally eat up if it's a restaurant.
Exactly. The more you bring out, the more we will eat. But yeah, but we're there and we're in the way. Sometimes I think people think we're going to show up with a camera and lights and 2 microphones.
Oh, no,
That's
no,
not
no,
quite
no.
the way we do things. But when we're done, people go, "Oh my God, that's," and then people are taking pictures and like, "Oh, they were here." It's kind of neat, right?
It is. It's really neat. And, we're going to have to talk about doing that in Tarpon because we
Tarpon's
haven't.
got great places.
We do.
Great places.
Yes, we do. And we haven't done that because we're we're closer.
Yeah, we're close enough to be here,
So
right?
we've been able to do that. But maybe it's time for us to venture out
I would
after
hope so.
3 years. Can you believe it? We're
3
coming
years.
up on 3
I
years, the
know.
1st of July.
We should do, and we'll talk about this in your next segment, but we should do a chamber show at the Fine Arts Festival,
Yes,
live. from
you
there.
got it.
You know, we can go on the
Absolutely.
stage, set everything up, the camera's on 9 yards, and everybody out there can watch a whole show being done.
Absolutely. We will do it.
That's a rare.
You're done.
But to do it the right time.
You're
of
talking
day,
to the
or we're
chairman.
we're going to die of the heat. But
Actually, it's the second weekend in March, so it's not die of the
it's
heat.
not too bad.
No,
right?
in
As long as
fact-
it's not raining. We don't do rain.
One of the things that we did when we moved it back to the second week in March was because it's not so hot and we don't have as many beer sales, but it's okay. It's about the artists.
Right. Exactly.
And we can talk about that some
We're
more
going to
when
talk
we
about
do.
that too, because I have an idea for that too.
Oh, goody.
We have things coming up that we probably need to start mentioning. We do have the new location, the second location in Tampa, up and running.
I am dying to see that because I
Yes.
remember when you were putting that together.
Yeah, it's not huge. It's not like we're used to here, but it's big enough for us to do good shows, solid shows over there, and it's in downtown Tampa.
And what kind of shows are you doing there?
We're doing a lot of business shows.
Okay.
That seems to be the focus right now. WeBeamTV is even though we have our nerd side and we have our geek side and we have our parageeks and we have our spooky stuff. We're primarily a business-based platform. And I'm all about trying to get the small business or the large. I don't really care, but I'm all about getting the local businesses out there.
And
Because-
you do a good job of that.
Well,
But yes,
I
but we
appreciate
can
you.
always do better too.
Right, exactly.
Because every time I turn around, there's a new business starting up.
Yes, there is. So we have multiple shows about businesses. That's kind of what we do. Those are chamber shows, which is business, right?
Yes,
It's,
absolutely.
in my way, I'm kind of looking at myself as like we're kind of like a networking network.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah, we're bringing business to the forefront so people can actually see what's going on. But yeah, so it's a great little place. It's about 2,000 square feet, maybe.
Okay. But that's still a
And
decent
it's
size.
A decent size. We have one of the largest LED screens in Tampa. We're not like Diamond View, who has that big monster, but we can do that CNN look or that Fox look or that look we can have. And plus, we have this look because this is my signature.
Oh yeah.
Everybody that sees this go, oh yeah, you've been on WeBeamTV because that's their look.
But
Right.
that's cool.
And it's on 412 East Main, right down from the courthouse and right kitty corner to the police station in downtown.
And easy to get to.
Very simple. And we have parking.
No kidding.
Yep.
That's key.
Yeah.
That's really
and
key.
matter of fact, if you come on and do a show with us, we pay for your parking.
Okay.
And we have a parking garage, so it's safe for the whole 9 yards, except for my vehicle. I can't get it in there. It's too
Well, it's a hover.
Yeah, but there's plenty of parking and there's great food around us, so we can always take a break and go and get great food, and it's just a great little area.
Well, and one of the things that I think that you guys do really well, and I learn something with them all the time, is the Our Business Show. I mean, I still remember the one on reverse mortgages because I always had a negative feel about that.
Mm-hmm.
And one afternoon, as I was inputting my next show in your sign-in things, I started listening in the background to a gentleman talking about reverse mortgages.
Yes, it's that 62 Who Knew. That's one of our big shows.
And I'm listening to this, and I ended up, when I finished inputting everything, leaving it on because I learned so much about what that was. And, another time I was listening to Green Tech and talking about, I mean, yeah,
Frank's on, yeah.
Frank is great. And he was talking about, and it wasn't, okay, this is 5-minute conversation. This was talking about, there's a whole science to the whole thing.
There is.
And a whole method.
Absolutely.
So I've learned so much.
And the great thing about what we do is you can actually, if you have a restaurant or if you have a business where you want to have TV on, but you don't want to subscribe to all the other stuff, you can go to YouTube and put on because we run WeBeamTV YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. So if you have a TV that's smart, you can put it on you and just play our stuff all day long because we are live from 9 a.m. until midnight, 7 days a week.
Oh, okay.
We're
I did
a
not.
true TV station.
And-
We do a lot of reruns, but we're a true TV station.
And to watch the TV station is on YouTube.
YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, or go to WeBeamTV.com, and there it is.
Which is what I end up doing.
Exactly. But you know what? We only
We're
got
out
a
of
couple seconds
time.
left. We're going to come back and
But
we're going to
that's
talk
my
to
line.
you. I'm going to talk to you.
Okay, but it was my line to tell you we're out.
I'm used to it. We'll be right back after these messages. All right, we're back, and you know what? We've saved the best for last. Now we're going to talk chamber.
Okay, so you get to interview me. Are your
do.
skills up to speed?
No, I'm old. I forget things. I got Jane Hungiville, President and CEO of the Tarpon Springs Chamber of
At least you
Commerce.
remembered my name.
Well, yeah.
I mean, that's pretty darn
That's a
good.
good thing, right? You guys, okay, so we're coming out of COVID.
Oh, thank goodness.
And you guys are not going to miss a beat, are you? You're just going to run right into let's talk about all the stuff that's going on,
Well-
and then we'll talk about the big one.
Yeah. Okay. The things that have been going on, we were working with the counties because the Pinellas County Administrator was working with all the city managers and the chambers to say, okay, this is how we're going to roll out, and looking at probably August to get started with everything. So
Okay.
slowly we were starting to add some things and planning on, okay, by August everything's going to be fine. And then the Florida governor said, nope, you know what? Boom.
Yeah, we're open.
And suddenly we're all scrambling.
Right.
And so one of the things that we're getting a lot of phone calls on, and one of the most popular things in Tarpon is First Fridays.
Okay.
First Fridays is not a chamber event, it's a Merchants Association event, but it brings a lot of people to town.
Yeah, it does.
And so everyone assumed, oh, good, we've got 2 weeks. We're going to go to First Friday in June. No, not so fast, because the women that put that together really need lead time to be able to lay stuff out.
Right.
So First Friday is going to be starting in July. Contrary to what was in the Beacon this last week, it will be a correction in today's Beacon. The reporter was making an assumption, and he felt terrible about it. But no, we're not starting in June. We're starting in July, which means 4th of July weekend is going to be a real
Humdinger.
boom.
Extravaganza.
It's going to start out on Thursday with the Sunset Beach concerts.
Okay.
And that'll be July 1st. July 2nd is First Friday. I don't know what the theme of it is. July 3rd then is going to be the community picnic again.
Oh, that's going to be awesome.
I mean, that is so popular. The hot
That's
dogs
Park,
and
right?
That's it down at Craig Park.
Craig
hot
Park,
dogs and
yeah.
hamburgers. And then the 4th of July fireworks on Sunday. What a weekend.
Is that going to be Sunset Beach?
It'll probably be at Sunset Beach, but you can't be at Sunset
No,
Beach
you
to
gotta go
watch
over
it.
to,
You've got to go over to Fred Howard to
Right.
watch it, or have a friend who's close by, but you can really see it from a lot of way.
You mean how many years I filmed that?
Really?
The fireworks?
Very cool.
From Sunset?
Oh,
They let me out there. I was one of the
is that
special
what
ones.
happened to your hair?
That's it. It's all got burned off.
Oh, okay.
Anyway,
Okay.
I'm sorry, I got you off track.
Yes, we digress. But then the city's going to be closed on the 5th. The chamber's going to be closed on the 5th because after that 4-day extravaganza, we're going to need a good day off. But that's how it's really. But in the meantime, backing up, we've started chamber events, and the chamber events started almost immediately between our ribbon cuttings,
Right.
and we were doing the breakfasts on the first and third Wednesday. First Wednesday it's at IHOP. The third Wednesday it's at Johnny Grits, and we were limiting it to 2025, which we were able to do, and we had to do social distancing and
Right.
some other stuff. Now it's getting a little bit more like, oh, okay, we don't have to limit it, and we're still getting the same 20, 25,
Right.
but it's different faces all the time. So if you're interested in coming to one of our breakfasts, that is a great social networking thing to just talk about your business. You did elevator speech, and then also you get to sit and talk. And I watched, for instance, Carolyn Farnam, who was with Addington Place,
Right.
came to one of our breakfasts, and afterwards she sat there for another 30 minutes with 2 or 3 other people, one of which happened to be an advertising person, but a couple of other people who were very interested in it. That was her first event. She ended up staying 30 minutes longer because the way we've got it done, you can sit afterwards. So
Right.
it goes from 8 until 9:30, and then we have time for people to be able to spend some one-on-one
That's
time
awesome.
afterwards as well.
And that's always good because that one-on-one time is really important.
Yep. So we started those back in December, and so now we're ramping those up a little bit, a little bit faster. But we're now adding happy hours to them and ribbon cuttings. So we've got, and what's fun is people love ribbon cuttings, but we can also add the party to the ribbon cuttings. Happy hour, you really couldn't socially distance, and everybody was like,
Right.
we limited the first one to 25 and sold out in 2 hours.
Oh, my.
And it's no charge. So,
Right.
and that was the one that was at Ours, another one of your favorite places, and the Creole place. And so that was a lot of fun. They had appetizers out, and we had a really
I
good
love
time.
that food.
So we now have coming up. We have the Good Morning Tarpon on June 2nd. Which was this morning.
Right.
And we had 25 people there and had a great time. At IHOP, which is up on...
Now, this is a new IHOP.
This is
in
the new
Tarpon.
IHOP on Tarpon. We've got a private room on the side.
Oh, okay.
So it really allows people to be able to break out into discussion groups or whatever we want to do. And so that's really pretty neat. But that was a pretty good turnout this morning. And then tomorrow we are going to be having a surprise. And it's not our surprise. I was really pleased. One of our favorite members, Canadian Bank, TD Bank,
Love them.
yes, had chosen a business to give an award to, a monetary award.
Wow.
And it will be at 11:30 tomorrow. So tomorrow morning, if you want to come and see this, and it'll be in downtown Tarpon, call the chamber after 10 and we can tell you
Okay.
where to come. That's 727-937-6109. But I can't divulge any more than that because
So do I need to be there? Sorry, that was just. I had
well,
to say that.
you
That was funny.
could be, but it's one of those. And TD Bank is doing a, it's a give back to the community,
That's
and
good.
she shared it with me, and
Yeah.
I can't even tell Jack in the office because
We
he
need to have
was,
her back on.
Yeah,
I love her.
Yeah,
to death.
yeah, she's
because
good.
of her. I actually went to TD Bank.
Well, you know what? She is not able to come out because they are on a very stricter protocol.
Yes.
And so she hasn't been able. Oh, we've really missed her. She's one of our
Yeah.
ambassadors
Yep,
too.
I know.
I mean, she's just great. And then coming up on this weekend on Saturday, we have a reboot. Pokey Pokey Bowl, which opened a couple years ago, sold in over the winter
Okay.
to a woman from Detroit, and she has changed it to Hawaiian Pokey Place,
Okay.
and is adding some more things to the menu. She's doing less sushi and more Hawaiian types of food as
Spam.
well. And
Sorry.
spam, I don't know.
Unless you
I
go
don't
to
know.
unless you go to Hawaii, you understand. They love spam.
I know, and I've
the
got
best
to
thing
ask
ever.
her that. But that will be a ribbon cutting this Saturday on June 5th. That will be at 3:30 in the afternoon,
Okay.
and the mayor will be giving her a key to the city. But what's neat, it's right down there near Rusty Valley's, and it's a reboot of something, and
Right.
she's very excited. She's getting out of the healthcare business.
Oh, okay.
Then coming,
and Michigan.
yes.
Sorry.
Anyway, and coming up on June 9th is a ribbon cutting at Pop's Smoke Shop. That is down on South Tarpon, next to a dog groomer.
Right.
Across from the Shepherd Center. Brand new business. Couple are just really excited. Brand new chamber members as well. June 16th we have, then that's the third Wednesday of the month, Johnny Grits.
That's the Leeds
that's
breakfast,
the Leeds
right? Yep.
breakfast on the 23rd. We have happy hour at the distillery. Yes, and Katerina's, who is another new chamber member, is going to be right next door.
Right.
Is going to be. We're working on doing some food to go with
Nice.
that too. But the distillery, fabulous, fabulous. And put that down June 23rd from 5 until 6:30. Again, you can find all of these on our Facebook page.
Right.
When I put the announcements out, or you can go to our chamber website, tarponspringschamber.org, and click on events, and then you can sign up for them, because I really do have to have a head count for
Right,
these.
it's important.
And if you don't sign up, you don't get your free drink ticket. If
And that's
you,
important.
Yes, if you just
Sign
drop
in.
in, it's like you're going to pay for everything. And then we're ending the month on June 30th with Freedom Boat Club ribbon cutting
Oh,
for their newest location,
newest
which is on the Sponge Docks.
right, that's awesome.
Yeah, I
That's
know.
absolutely
I mean, we finished today with them, and then we've
You've
got that.
45 seconds to talk to us about the fine arts.
The Fine Arts Festival.
I'm hearing
We-
rumors it's coming.
It's coming. It is the second weekend in March, the 22nd. We usually have 210 artists that come.
Mm-hmm.
Of those, we scaled it back to 175 for this year. We had enough notice this year that it wasn't going to happen and we couldn't reschedule it,
Right.
that we gave them the option to either have a refund or roll over.
Right.
100 of those artists rolled over,
That's
60%. So we have 100 already signed up from all over the country next year. We are going to start meeting in June, and then end of June, and then we are going to be putting it up for the artists on application in July. The jurors have been chosen. It'll go through the fall. I'm excited, and you have to be there because I want to film on
There
location.
we go. See, I make that happen.
And I mean, so having WeBeamTV there,
You got a lot going. You got a lot going on, girl. I'm just saying right
I
now.
know.
Hey, thank you for watching today. We appreciate it. We know you have other things you could be watching online because there's a plethora of everything out there. but
why
you're
would
stuck
they
with
want to
us.
watch anything
I
other than
know,
us?
right? So hey, look, thanks for watching. We'll see everybody next week on My Chamber TV.
God, we're good.